Welcome. This is DA Sports. I'm your host, DASASI. Thank you. This is episode number 42. Now, in today's episode, we have a quick, short episode. Well, one thing we're going to get into, it's just our question of the week. Now, this question of the week has to pertain to you, the viewer. You're going to let me know what you think is the answer. So let's get into it. So, for this week's question of the week. Now, everybody knows that we don't have any games this Sunday. So, it's only, well, technically we have the Pro Bowl, but the Pro Bowl is basically just like a fun outing. It's not anything really serious. So, I'm not doing anything about the Pro Bowl. But we do know that Super Bowl, which is the biggest sporting event in the world, it happens next Sunday. So with everything being geared up to that, I'm going to ask a question specific to you all to understand what you're most looking forward to. So, this week's question of the week is, which aspect of the Super Bowl are you most looking forward to? Now, I'm going to give you 5 different options. These are 5 things that people may decide to be the thing they're most looking forward to in regards to the Super Bowl. Now, unlike most of the questions of the week, not every aspect of these selections have to do specifically with what's going to be on the field. Some of them obviously do, but some of them don't. And mainly that's because we know that a lot of people watch the Super Bowl, but are watching the Super Bowl for other reasons. So let's get into each one. So again, I'm going to give you 5 options, and then you're going to comment, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Let me know which of these options fitting for you. We're not trying to guess what it is for everyone else, just specifically to you. What are you most looking forward to? So the first option that I'm going to give you as what are you most looking forward to is the strategic coaching matchup. Now, what I mean by that is, Kellen Moore versus Steve Spagnuolo, or Andy Reid versus Nick Sirianni. So people like myself who really like to break down the strategic aspect of games know that coaching is huge when it comes to the biggest game of the year. Super Bowl, a lot depends on what the strategic input is. So whether you decide to have a run-heavy offensive attack, whether defensively you decide to have a blitz-heavy, attack, where you decide to blitz from, who you decide to match up with who. These are all things that have to go into coaching. These are all things that each coach is agonizing over for this whole 2-week period in terms of trying to put together the best game plan of the year, because this is where it counts the most. So I know people like myself, that might be the thing that they're most looking forward to, because typically that strategic component ends up being a huge determining factor about who comes out as the winner. So that's one option for you to choose from as the thing you're most looking forward to. Now, the next option is something that's off the field. The next option for you to choose between is the commercials. I know, kind of went left there, but yes, the commercials. Are the commercials the thing you are most looking forward to in regards to the Super Bowl? Now, I know it sounds crazy for all of us diehard, just pure football lovers, but I know there are a lot of people who solely watch the Super Bowl to be entertained by the commercials. Now, I have to say, in the pantheon of Super Bowl commercials, I would say the ones collectively, as far as a company that usually does the best job with Super Bowl commercials, to me, is Doritos. My favorite Super Bowl commercial of all times is the Doritos commercial. It involves a kid slapping a guy for touching his Doritos. when he tried to come to his mom's house to pick up his mom for a date. To me, it's like one of my favorite commercials of all time. I remember how much I laughed watching it the first time, and even though I've seen it hundreds of times at this point, anytime I see the commercial again, it puts a smile on my face because I think it was just very well put together. So Doritos, if they, I don't know if they have one in this year's Super Bowl, but if they do, it's definitely going to be something I'm looking forward to. But there's been all kind of iconic Super Bowl commercials over the year, whether it be for beer products, whether it be for new cars that aren't out, all sorts of things. So if commercials is the thing that you choose as your option, the thing you're most looking forward to, I want you to also comment on if there's a specific brand or company that you're most looking forward to seeing in those commercials. Now, the third option for you to pick between, as far as the thing you're most looking forward to for Super Bowl, is the halftime show. Now, everybody knows that Kendrick Lamar is doing the halftime show. Obviously, for people like myself who live in Southern California, it's even a bigger deal. Kendrick Lamar has basically been a huge impact on just the West Coast in general, especially in the last year or so, with, you know, the whole beef situation and then his album release. And if you turn on any radio station out here, I would say in a 20-minute period, you're going to hear at least one song from Kendrick Lamar, whether it be one of the songs from during the beef or whether it be one of the songs off the album. It's very, very much going to be Kendrick focused, and it makes sense. You know, in the last year, he's probably been the biggest artist, the most talked about artist, and with everything going on, and it makes sense why they chose him to be the halftime performer. I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing, like, is it just going to be him and SZA? Is he going to surprise people and bring out some people who are from New Orleans? That's another thing. There was a big controversy before he was selected because people assumed that it was going to be Lil Wayne because he's from New Orleans, even though they don't always choose an artist from the city where it's being performed in. And even though that they've had Super Bowls in New Orleans back when Lil Wayne was more of a bigger artist in terms of, like, you know, new material and stuff like that. So I don't know specifically why they tried to make that such a big deal this year, but nonetheless, it was a topic of conversation for at least a week or two. So is that the thing that you're most looking forward to? Are you looking forward to, you know, all the guys maybe not paying as much attention because, you know, you're the wife of one of the guys and you just like, I just want to see the entertainment at halftime? I don't know. But you tell me, is that the thing that you're most looking forward to? Now, the fourth option for a thing you're most looking forward to would be the quarterback comparison. So what I mean by that is everybody knows the most important position in football is the quarterback. And both of the quarterbacks that we have in the Super Bowl are considered polarizing quarterbacks. So you got Patrick Mahomes, who is easily recognized as the best quarterback of this current era. Like, out of all the quarterbacks playing today, there's pretty much no argument that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback currently playing. But just like with anything else, when you're at the top of your field, that also lends itself to you being hated a lot. Now, a lot of that comes with just the Chiefs because they've been winning so much. But nonetheless, Patrick Mahomes is loved by a lot of people, but he's also hated by a lot of people. I know there are people who have hated him because they don't feel like he stands for what they stand for. Some people hate him because they just don't like his voice. Some people hate him because they don't like family members of his. So all sorts of things, which is, like I said, common when you're at the top. So that makes him polarizing. And then you also got Jalen Hurts, who's been polarizing mainly just for his on-the-field production. You know, he was regarded in college as one of the top quarterbacks. Then he lost his spot, and there's been this debate during his whole career. Well, is he really that good? Then 2 years ago when he made it to the Super Bowl, everybody was in consensus like, oh yeah, he's a top 5 quarterback. Now it's like, well, is he really that good? Is he even top 10? You know, how much is his success a product of the team? there's so much debate over Jalen Hurts, how productive he needs to be, how he performed in the last Super Bowl. They said everybody pretty much said he played a good game, but his fumble that led to a Chiefs touchdown arguably directly cost them the game. Nobody knows, but nonetheless, he's also polarizing for different reasons than Mahomes is polarizing. And because they're so polarizing and so popular, they're going to get compared to each other. So is that what you're going to be most interested in? Are you interested in seeing which quarterback outplays the other? Which quarterback has more yards? Which quarterback has more touchdowns? How will they each perform under pressure when it's fourth quarter if the game is close? Are you looking forward to seeing, how one person executes over the other? So that is an option for you to choose from. Now, the last option for you to choose from, as far as what are you most looking forward to in regards to the Super Bowl, is just the party itself. So are you not so interested in the game? Are you not so interested in the commercials? Are you not so interested in the halftime show? Are you just simply interested in going to the Super Bowl party, getting a chance to hang out with friends and family and drink and, talk and play games and eat food? Maybe that's just your thing. Maybe you're not really into sports, but you just like being able to get together with all of your close friends or family, and that's what you're most looking forward to. And you don't really care what happens in the game or what happens in the entertainment or who wins the game or anything like that. So that's why I made that one of the options, because I have definitely been at Super Bowl parties where there are people who never really even looked at the TV. They're literally off having conversations, talking about gossip, things of that nature. They really could care less about the game. So you let me know, is that you? So that brings up all 5 options. Again, the question of the week is, which of these things are you most looking forward to? And your 5 choices are the strategic coaching matchup, the commercials, the halftime show, the quarterback comparison, or just the party itself. So that's it for this week's question of the week. That is also it for this week's episode. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please make sure you like and subscribe and share wherever possible. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Peace.